This is John Paul Rai. I'm coming to you from Tokyo, Japan, covering pop culture, That First Heard, Little Meghan Markle, whatever comes up in the news, and this here is a fun-filled video about a new movie Amber Heard is in, and it did really badly. We've seen worse, but this did horrible. It's called Amber Heard's new movie flops, makes less than $50,000 globally. And when they say less than $50,000, they mean $36,000, which is really, really pretty shitty, just to put it nicely. And it seems that this site here is pretty much justice for Johnny. They say, okay, so Amber Heard is everywhere. At this point, it is basically impossible to ignore it because no matter what you do, if you talk films, she'll come up eventually. Even if you want to separate her personal life from her professional one, good luck. People hate Amber Heard right now, but that hasn't slowed her down at all. It slowed her movies down though. Her new movie flopped and made less than $50,000 globally. And you know what I said before was it probably didn't flop because of her acting, but then again, when I thought about it, just this last 2 or 3 days, the fact that she was in it probably really hurt the thing. I mean, it's a movie that no one really knows in the first place, so it's already starting at a disadvantage. And I don't know. I know nothing about it, and if she wasn't in it, I'd probably just see it for the hell of it if someone was like, hey, it's good. But if someone was just like, hey, it's good, and by the way, Amber Heard's in it, I'd be like, well, I can't see that, champ, so looks like I'll be taking a pass. That's probably what happened. Word of mouth got out, and a lot of people gave it a pass because they heard Amanda was in it. And they go on to say, she did have a huge hit with Aquaman, of course, but that was some time ago. Aquaman grossed over $1.1 billion at the box office, and it became the highest-grossing DC film of all time. He beat out all the Superman and Batman films, so good job, Jason Momoa. Obviously hinting that it was Jason Momoa that brought the big crowds, that brought the billion, and not Amber Heard, which is the first hint we get that this site is pretty much justice for Johnny. Alright, keep moving. Okay, so Amber has only released 2 movies since then, but both of them have done terribly. Some are even saying it's karma for all the stuff with Johnny Depp. Oh, let's not forget the streaming exclusive she had and the one TV show. We wouldn't want to be unfair, of course. And they're talking about The Stand, which also did really, really bad. And that's Stephen King, and most people, pretty much like Stephen King. There's some details, some stuff he said here and there. But, all in all, he's pretty well liked. So, you'd think that his TV show would do better. But since you know who was in it, well, maybe word of mouth kind of hurt a little bit. Or a lot. We're mostly interested in her newest film, though, so that's the one we'll be looking at. Gully hasn't been completely terrible, at least. There are no lawsuits surrounding this movie, at least. It still managed to only make a measly $36,000 globally. Oof. Not only did it perform poorly commercially, but critically too. Critics absolutely tore it apart, and it had nothing to do with the fact that Heard was in it. It was based on their performances alone. That's pretty rough, but like I said, once word of mouth gets around and you know who is in it, people skip it. So it didn't directly have to do with her acting, I suppose, but it had to do with the fact she was in it. Well, even though all her recent movies have been terrible, at least she has a big one coming out. She's still going to be in Aquaman and The Lost Kingdom. That should perform well unless all the people claiming they're going to boycott it actually do. Still, when a film makes less than $50,000 globally, you know it's gotta be bad. And I don't think the issue about Aquaman 2 is people saying they're gonna boycott and going back on their word. I think the issue is there's a lot of DC comic book fans who are gonna see it who just don't care about the personal lives of the actors. That's just my gut feeling from talking to other YouTubers, DC fans, out of curiosity, just to get like the vibe from the fans who aren't on, Justice for Johnny, who aren't in the know of what's going on so well. They're just kind of like, yeah, she's alright. She's not great, but alright, maybe she'll do better in Aquaman 2. And they just don't know. It's just ignorance. They're not bad people. They're not supporting an abuser. They just don't know enough about it. Because, the sites they follow just probably play the middle, or even once in a while take Amber's side, or leave out details, and it's just not what they're into. So I think there's going to be quite a few fans like that seeing the movie. Will that break 1 billion? Maybe not. Maybe the Justice for Johnny crowd will keep it under 1 billion. That'll probably happen. I just don't think it's going to be a flop. I don't think we're going to wake up and be like, yeah, it got like 300 mil. That was terrible, down from 1.1 billion. I think maybe realistically, we'll wake up one day and it'll be like, okay, it did like maybe 725, 800 million. Not as good as the first one, but, not that you could call that a bomb. Just my prediction. I hope it does like negative 50 million like Solo Star Wars Story, but we'll see. Anyway, you guys, of course, let me know what you think down below. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. I'm doing shoutouts, special thanks, things like that. If you're not subscribed here, and you don't subscribe, and you consider it, I guess I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.